Round 2 of Warren Jeff's preliminary hearing is less than 24 hours away. Taking the stand tomorrow, Utah's star witness. Our Mike Watkiss is live in St. George, Utah with more on this courageous young woman. Mike?
Yeah, right you are, Patty. Because of a very stern court order, we can't show you her face or reveal her name, but make no mistake about it, this young woman is indeed the state of Utah's star witness against polygamous prophet Warren Steed Jeffs. In court documents, she's referred to only as Jane Doe number 4, the now 20-year-old young woman who says at the age of 14, she was forced by Warren Jeffs to marry a man she neither liked nor loved, her 19-year-old first cousin.
When I finally realized who they were going to have me marry, I was devastated. I immediately stood up and walked out of the room.
A packed Utah courthouse was held spellbound last month as a tearful and soft-spoken young woman told Judge James Shoemate how at the age of 14 she pleaded with polygamous prophet Warren Jeffs not to force her to marry a 19-year-old first cousin.
And I just said, I don't think that this is right for me, because I just feel like that I need to have some time to grow up. And I said, and I am not willing to marry my cousin. He asked me if I was praying about it, and I said, yes, I am, and everything is telling me not to do this. I told Warren, I said, well, my heart is telling me that this is not what is right for me right now. It's telling me that it's wrong. And he came right out and he said, well, your heart is in the wrong place.
And despite her protests, a couple of days later, the 14-year-old girl loaded into a car in Hilldale, Utah, and taken with a group of other young brides to a remote little town called Caliente, Nevada, an isolated dot on the desert map, a small motel called the Caliente Hot Springs.
I know they used to come here, and they used to own the place.
And it's there that Warren Jeffs and his followers are believed to have performed many illegal and underage marriages in recent years, far away from snooping reporters and Utah and Arizona cops who were starting to keep a closer eye on the situation on the border.
I came down in a wedding dress, but then they asked me to go up and change because they wanted us in plain clothes as we drove over there so that nothing would look suspicious. This entire time that I was there, I was crying, and I honestly just wanted to die because I was so scared. Excuse me. Sorry, this is very hard for me to relate. It's not easy. Very painful. This was the darkest time in my entire life.
And he come back to us live here in St. George, Utah. Patty, obviously very emotional testimony. The young woman told the judge that her pain did not stop with her marriage because she says her new husband / cousin then forced himself on her on several occasions, raping the young woman. It's that part of her story for which Warren Jeffs is now charged as an accomplice. That little town that we mentioned, Caliente, factoring prominently in this story. Apparently these men from Colorado City and Hilldale, Utah have been going over to Nevada to enjoy their more favorable laws of underage marriages, trying to hide from law officers. Prosecutors are presenting that because they think that it will present to the judge and potentially a jury a consciousness of guilt on this part. We're going to see this young woman in court again tomorrow morning.
So will we find out tomorrow, Mike, if Warren Jeffs will stand trial on this charge of rape as an accomplice?
Well, the question is, will the judge rule from the bench? I think he probably will. We don't know for sure. And I bet the smart money is now betting that there will indeed be a trial for Warren Steed Jeffs.
Okay, thanks very much for that, Mike.